Huh?
In France.
France, good. Here, I'm in front of another famous sunshade job. I think this is a Q5, not sure. And my other video I have online, some people complain that they can't see things right, especially when I take the sunshade out of the guides and stuff. So I'm gonna try to just make a little updated video on this for those who are struggling. Stay with me. Yeah, so okay, when you start out, I assume you know how to take the glass out. It's pretty simple, and how to get your car into service mode. I explained it already in another video anyway. So when you have the glass out and you take this screw out here, you lift this up, and you basically just grab this from behind, and there's your thingy. You just can lift it out. At this moment, when this is removed, you lift it a little bit in the back and you push it out over here. That's the first step. You do this on both sides. So once you have done this on the second side, you simply can just lift this bracket out of here, and then you either way you cut this, or the fabric, or you just pull it out. Need a second hand for that. You see here, it's in there like this. And you just keep pulling. Doing this with one hand now. And there it goes. I just let it sit down on the seat. That's fine. And now you would need to move to the back, take the cover out, and loosen up the assembly. So once you have this cover off here, which is pops out, just out, you pop it down. You basically just pull it back, more like. You pop it down a little bit, go under the edge here, put it down, and then you pull it out to the back. Anyway, once that is out, you have to make a decision. The headliner might get a little crinkle when you push it down. Like this is no problem, but when you go more and more to reach the cassette here down there, this one is held in with two screws. One is right here and one is on the other side. And to get this in and out, you gotta push this down quite a bit. And maybe you want to use some towel or cardboard or whatever, and hold it down in a position in order for you to get the cassette out. In earlier models, this bracket, this plastic bracket, was not in. Newer models, they have that, and it's a little harder to get the assembly out of here. But definitely not really a problem, especially if you not care if you might have a little wrinkle in that corner. It usually disappears after 3-4 days after you put it back together. So I would be not too scared. I usually take those out because they put strain on it, and if you take them out, it makes it a little easier to push down the headliner. Let's see how it goes. It also helps if you lower those. They're also just clipped in. You just pull on them and they come down. You gotta pull quite hard. And now the headliner gives you a little bit more leeway here to get this guy out. Let me see if I can film this a little bit. But it ain't really important to film how to loosen those bolts. first one right here, and then there fell my phone. Second one right here. And get this light out, and now I need a second hand. Alright, so here's the assembly. Usually when you drag it out like this, the fabric stays in there because it's all messed up in the first place. So you just start pulling this out, and there it is. So this is the easy part, and let me get the part, and then it's pretty much late today. I'm gonna finish up tomorrow. Yo, so we're here on the roof. This is the most difficult part, always the most frustrating part. I already put this aluminum bar in here, and there's this rubber edge here on your fabric that you wanna do, you know, loop up a little bit. I use the dielectric grease, or however you pronounce that. Yeah, so otherwise you're gonna have a little bit hard time maybe sliding this aluminum bar all the way on, because the rubber is pretty grippy. So now when you lift this up, the problem is going to be I cannot film this all the way because I don't have a stand. But basically
like and subscribe.
You fold this back, and here you see already your spring. Take a hook and pull that forward, and then you take this little metal piece out, insert the part into the spring. I'm going to try to do this and then start recording for a moment again. But basically when you have that, you also, what helps, you want to cut a little opening in here. I'm going to do this and film again so you can see what I'm doing. This is how it looks originally. So, and this is now after I cut a little 45-degree. This just helps you to get the metal spring easier in there. Essentially, your roof will never get into this position because it's going to sit more forward. This is only going to be a position when you start assembling it. So it really doesn't matter, you can do this. So if you done everything right, you have it looking like this. You can see this metal pieces in here. Now you take the plastic piece, insert it in the rail and push it down into the metal. I need two hands for this. So once you did this, it's gonna look like this. And it's always a little bit frustrating, but it can be done. So, and then you push the top down, and this is gonna lock it in place. And then you move on to the other side, and this is basically it. Then you just assemble the rest. This is just a video that is in addition to the very detailed video that I already did. And yeah, thanks for subscribing, and keep in mind that when you do it this way, you probably will end up with a little bit of a, let me see, with a little crackle back there, but this is usually fades away after a week. It's just because you have this way, you avoid taking the headline out. I mean, if that is bothering you, you have to take the headline out. Yeah, and in addition to that, real quick, the back, you put the cassette in, but you not tie it up. You just put it in, screws like sort of little loose. And keep in mind that whenever you're done with this, you will need to, let me point this out before actually. Kind of forgot that. Maybe I did already, but before you run the shade the first time, you probably will need to go in here and feel with your finger if the fabric is actually on top of the guides. Here in this cassette, you cannot see this with the camera, but you can feel it. You take your hand in there and you feel, and I can tell it's not. It's usually not. And then you go in there with a little hook and you pull the fabric spring out a little bit and slip it on the guide. And it doesn't really make sense to do this before you're done in the front with the, with this part, because you're moving this fabric here around and the spring and all that, and it's gonna come off again anyway. So you will to finish first this, and then you go in the back and double check. You move this. The spring is basically, well, you will see when you take the cassette out and you put the new fabric in, it has a little bit on the plastic, a little ridge where the fabric's supposed to run over. I should have maybe pointed that out extra, but that's where it needs to be, and you just can go with a little hook and pull it out and slide it over. It's no problem. That's it. That concludes that, and consider subscribing. Try to grow this channel, and thanks for your support. Have a good day.